Hi everyone. In the previous session, we have seen some more about document object, like how to add attributes or how to get all the attributes of an element, and how to identify various classes of a particular element. And then we have seen how to create an element and how to create a new text node. All those things we have seen in the previous session. Now in this session, we'll see a real-time example based upon the previous session concept. Okay, fine. Now first what I will do is, I will create one new page like rgukt.html. Okay, fine. So this is what we call it as something like rgukt. Oh, rightly so. Now what I would like to do is, let me explain. First, I would like to have a division. I would like to have a division. In that, I am having a form. This form is meant for to send the datum id equal to, let me call it as my form. Here I am having input type equal to text. Let me explain the problem. What is the real world problem after writing this basic design part? No need of name. I can go with the id as first. id as first. This is hobbies, or I will call it as, yeah, hobbies only. That's enough. Now once the user entered the first, and he is able to click the submit button. Submit value equal to, I'm trying to add it. Okay, fine. And then what I will do is, at the end, the hobbies are I'm going to take one ordered list, and I'm going to take one list. For example, let me call it as cricket. Yes, with this you can able to understand it clearly, guys. You can understood it as, I think this is URL is I can able to modify here itself. rgukt.html. Yes, you can observe I have a text field with the hobbies as option. If I click add, that should be added to this list. That is my requirement. If I am adding something like hobby as Coco and click add, that should be added here. That is my requirement. So for that, I am going to write the code for you. Yes. Here, what I need to do, whenever user enters something like Coco and click add, it has to create one new LA, one new LA. So that is the reason we have to compulsory go through DOM concept. Okay. For example, I would like to remove the element also. Then I can go with the button, closing of button. Observe. After adding the list of hobbies, if he is not interested to take the one kind of data, then he can click this cross mark and he can delete that item. That is my requirement. Okay. And what you can do, for example, first I would like to make some styling here. Style type equal to extra css. I'm going to go with the div tag. I would like to have my background color as, I'm sorry, my background color should be yellow, and its width should be something like 500 pixel, 500 pixel. And whatever the UL items are there na, in that, if I am having list of items, all those list of items width should be some 50 pixel, or let me take some 100 pixel, 100 pixel. And their background color should be something like gray color, and if you want, I can able to add some kind of margin. No need of right now. Yes. Okay. Then what I will do, for example, I would like to, whenever user places uh, some cursor, I would like to define some button properties. And on this, if I made something like margin left as 50 pixel, I hope you will understand clearly. This what I will do. Instead of this 100 pixel, I will go with 150 pixel. Now it will be clear. Okay, I need to remove this one, right? This dot symbol. I can go with the list style type equal to none. That will be removed, and I need to make it center. Make it center. This also I need to make it center. This is only designing part. I'm not implementing anything. You can observe. Why I am placing this also outside. I can go with all this in the center. So whenever I'm trying to press here something Coco, if I click add, that should be added here along with a into mark here, cross sign. So to delete this data. Okay. First we'll try to create adding of elements. So for example, if I try to create hovering effect of this button colon hover, I will get its color as background color as, let me call it as red color. It has red color. By default, I have to make some kind of color as blue color. Blue color. If I make hover, that should be red. That means I am trying to delete this data. Okay, guys, here you can observe I have created the basic syntax. Now, I will write some JavaScript code here. Script. I am going to open new file. Source equal to csc dot csc.js, control n, control s, csc.js. Already exists. Yes, I can able to replace, no problem. Yes, now I would like to make some kind of alert for the purpose of clarification. csc.js connected. csc.js is connected. That's fine, good. Yes, now first of all, my requirement is whenever user clicks on add, I need to get that value and I need to create one li, okay, fine. So let me check how the user is submitted or not. When the user is submitted or not, for example, how we are going to check whether the user is submitted or not, I'm going to call add event listener, right? So that add event listener, what I can do is first I will access this form. How are we going to access this form? For example, where my form equal to document dot get element by id of I think it is form, no? It is my form. I have accessed my form. On this my form, if user performs some kind of submit operation, for example, we can call that method. What is that? I'm sorry, I forgot it. That add event listener method. If call add event listener method, and he will submit something. He'll click on submit. I need to call a function called add item function, and here I am going to pass some parameter as false. See guys, while discussing the add event listener method, I have said already here, add event listener method is going to accept one more parameter as boolean. So this parameter, if you are passing true, it will be submitted. This event is going to be triggered. If we are going to make it as false, this event is not going to be triggered. Meaning that, see what actually happened when the user clicks on submit button. This will be submitted to the server. I am trying to stop that submission to the server. Trying to stop submission to the server so that I can view the output in the page itself. That's why I'm trying to make it as false. It as false. and I'm going to create the function add item, and I'm trying to pass that event. What are the event that I'm generating? That event. Observe. I'm going to call console dot log of add item call. Let me check that whether it is calling perfectly or not. If I click, I'm going to F12. I'm going to click add. Observe, guys, it is just blinking because we need to prevent the submission to the server. So for that, what you can do, we have a method called e dot prevent default. If I click, we'll get add item call. Okay, fine. So instead of this add item call, if I print console.log of e, you can able to understood that. If I click add, you can observe what kind of event you got all these things. So what is the default prevention? Yes, prevention is stopped. That is why it is saying that true. And you can have target attribute, where is what is the action, various kind of options are the class list, what kind of classes are there, all those things you can able to visualize here. Okay, fine. So once the user click the submit button, I am going to call a function called add item function. Okay, fine. Now what you have to do means you have to get the data from the user. So how we are going to get? I need to access the data. For example, document dot get element by id of that id is first, and I need to get its value as value, and I'm going to store in a location called where if. Yes, I got the data. Can I able to directly add? No, I need to create the element first. How we are going to create the element? By simply making use of document object, document dot create element. What element I need to create? Li element I need to create. Yes, I have created Li element, and I am going to store in a variable called L variable. I have created. Observe, if I try to write console dot log of L, I click add, Li is created. Now in this Li, I would like to add the content. But can we add the content directly? Yes, with the help of append, I can able to add the content directly. But I would like to create the content as a node first. Then I would like to add. So then what I can do, where text, I am going to add text, which I am going to add it. So where I need to add for the as a create a node, right? So f contains the value, that f value I need to convert into a kind of text node. Then what I can do, document dot I can call create text node. For what thing? F. Now text is a kind of a node. That text I can able directly add now. Where I need to add? I need to add the child of li. How we are going to do that? L dot append child of. I need to add my text. Now I'm trying to call L again. If I entered here Coco, that will be added. Create. Okay, there is a syntax mistake. If I entered Coco, that will be added as a list. Yes, we have created now. But not only this, you have to get in the form of this button all those things, right? Yes. Oh, how can I do? We need to create a button. How we are going to do it? Where delete button equal to document dot create element name is button. Now I need to create the text node, right? Once again, because I need to write the x document dot create text node of what is the value x I need to pass because it is a its thing. Next, where d text delete button text I am trying to write. That delete text button I need to add it to where button, right? Then dbtn dot append child of d text. I have added. If you want, you can just check dbtm. What is dbtm? If I click add, that will be button created. Yes, guys. Now I have created the list li tag separately. I have created the button separately. Now I need to add this button to the li. What I can do? I can do l dot append child of dbtm. dbtm. Now I can observe. If I want, I can call now l. That will look like this. If I add as Coco, click add. Observe li in that Coco in that button X. Okay, guys. So what I did is so far here this is meant for create li element, create li element with data, data, and this is meant for create button with data, and this line is meant for add button to the L. Button to the li. Yes, once I have added button to the li, is our task is completed? No, we have created ourselves. Now I need to add this data to the corresponding list. Corresponding list. That list is here ul list. So for this list, what I will do? I would like to do id equal to. I am going to make it as list. Make it as list. I will access this list where list equal to document dot get element by id of it contains reference. Now what I will do, I will simply add this to the list. I will simply add li to the list. Where it is going to be added? It is going to by default add at the end, right? So how we are going to do for list dot add of what I need to do? I need to add l. L contains all the data, right? Now if you would like to call the list, you will get the entire data, or you can see in the output section also. Refresh. If I press enter, Coco, click add, you can observe list dot add is not a function. I'm sorry, I need to call. I don't know why I have written add. It should be append chain. This is Coco. Click add. That will be added. Observe that will be added. If you go for this code in UL, you have first element that will be added manually, and second element that will be added through programmatically through this function. Okay, I can go with some kind of modification here. Yes, this is the way you can create the element. Now you can see here, if I type Coco and click add, that will be added to the existing list. You can observe in the code also, second element list Coco with button cross mark. Yes. Okay. Now I don't want to go for this printing of this data. Yes, that's it. If I refresh once again, if I click Coco, click add, that will be added. If I made cache game, let me assume cache game. If I add kabaddi, that will be added. Like this, we are going to add the list of elements at runtime. Okay, fine. Now my next requirement is when I am going to click on this cricket cross mark, it should be deleted, or cast cross mark, it should be deleted. That is our requirement. So first, what you have to do is you have to identify where the user is clicking, right? Yes. I already identified the list where the user is clicking. On this one, I am going to call the event listener, that is list dot add event listener of. I am going to identify the click event, and on that I am going to use a function called remove item function, and I am going to make it as a false in order to stop preventing to submit data to the server. Now I will try to create the function remove item of. I'm going to pass the event as e. Event as e. Now you can observe, guys, here if I write console dot log of e, you can observe that if I refresh, unexpected identifier at 26 line number 5, it is should be function. Now if I refresh, if I click uh, cricket, you can observe it's going to create an event that is a pointer event where you will have various kind of things, all these things you can able to know. Meaning that this remove item is going to be called. Now on this one, if you observe here, console dot log of uh, remove item is click. Remove item is click. If I refresh, you can observe, guys, if I click here, that will be activating. 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 You will observe the counter. If I click here, that will be activating. But I don't want that. I want to have to activate the clicking property for only this cross mark of red color. Cross mark of red color. Then what we can do means, you can able to identify that. For example, let me write that. If that event dot, we're having a property called target property. In that, I have already shown to the list of classes for you, class list, where this list of classes contains an attribute called delete attribute. Let us assume that delete attribute. Guys, do you have any delete attribute here? Let me call check console dot log of delete call. Delete call. So observe, I'm going to refresh. If I click here, is it happening anything? No, it is not happening anything because we don't have any kind of a class with the name delete. With the name delete. Now what I will do is, while creating a particular class, I'm going to make the delete. For example, let me call my class as delete. My class as delete, and I'm going to perform some modification here. Let me make the class as delete. For this, I am going to change my background color as blue only. I am going to make it modification. No problem. You can add in any manner. I don't have any problem. Now you can observe, if I refresh, if I click somewhere, it is not happening. But if I click here, that is happening delete call. If I click here, it is not happening. But if I click here, that is happening as delete call. So that is the reason if you are writing the code like this. I am going to identify a class where it contains the delete word. If I got delete word, I am going to perform some operation. Okay. So here, why I am not getting the background color as blue. So as class, it should be called with dot delete. And one more thing, if I am going to refresh, that will be done. If I add Coco here, click add. Now here you are not getting any kind of blue color. That is because we didn't add that property. Once we created an element button, for this button I need to add a class. You can have that property dbn dot set attribute. What property I need to set? I need to set the property as class. I need to set the property as d. Now it will, if you refresh, here you will get, if I write Coco, that will be added. Yes, it will get. Now guys, if you observe, if I am trying to click on any list anywhere, it is not working. If I click cross mark, that will be called delete. Delete. Yes. So we identified the location where I want to delete the data. Yes. Now once we identify the corresponding location, we can make it confirm from the user, and we can make it delete. For example, I am trying to make it confirm. If confirm, are you sure you want to delete? You want to delete. Okay, fine. If he is saying that yes, saying that, so you will get certain item, right? I'm going to find out its parent element. E dot target dot, how we are going to find out the parent element? With help of parent element. that I am going to store in a variable called L. Then I will simply remove that. I will simply remove that with the help of from where I need to remove. I need to remove from the list of items. From the list of items. So from the list, I am going to simply use a method called remove child method. Remove child of. I am going to remove my color. That's it. I am going to see, observe. If I refresh, if I add Coco, that will be added. If I add Cash, that will be added. If I add Kabaddi, that will be added. Now if I click Cash, it's going to ask for are you sure you want to delete? Yes, click OK. That will be it. If I click Cricket, yes, are you sure you want to delete? Yes, click OK. Like this, you can able to perform delete operation. Okay, fine. My next task is I would like to perform something operation. Like I am having n elements are there. Out of all those elements, I would like to filter out the data. So, for example, if I am trying to write CO, automatically needs to filter out the existing data. So, how can we do that? So, what I will do is I will try to create one kind of text box here. Mm, Let me take one division, and in this division, I am trying to take one input type equal to text. Type equal text. Okay, fine. So, what I will do is for this I will give some ID as filter. ID as filter. When user presses some key, and I mean when the user searches for some data, he will try to enter some data. So at the time I will call some uh, function. What I will do is I will try to, for example, where I'm trying to define some filter equal to document dot get element by ID of. I'm going to use whenever user try to release the key, I'm going to call a function. For example, I'm calling that as search item, and I'm going to pass the false as a value. Okay, now I'm going to implement this search item function search item function. So it will take u as parameter, right? So that can be anything. I'm going to define it as console.log of for checking search call. Observe, if I refresh, you got one more field. I'm trying to write J, A by A. No, it is not popping. It is not popping because there may be some mistake. So it should not be key up. It is key up, right? Yes. Filter. Yes. First, I need to call this element. How we are going to do that? Document dot get element by ID of filter. Filter. That I am going to. Oh, why I have made this much mistake? I am going to store it in a variable called filter variable. Now on this filter, I am going to call the event filter dot add event listener of. When the user releases a key up, I'm going to call uh, search item, and I'm going to pass a parameter called false. Now it will work fine. If I'm trying to enter J A by E, something like so, 4 times search is called, right? So meaning that whatever data that you are trying to enter at the time, you are getting the data. Yes, fine. Now I need to get the data from the user entered location. So like where, let me take text equal to, I can get something like e dot target dot, I can simply get its value. I'm going to convert it into a lowercase format because it can be any format, right? A user may search User may search in the form of capital letter or small letter or combination. I am going to convert everything into lowercase form. And then that data I need to search in the list. So I need to get the list first. So what I will do is I would like to get all the list of items. So document dot get elements by tag of I am going to accept all the list of items, and I am going to store all the list of items in a variable as items. Now get elements by tag name is going to return a collection, and this collection I am going to convert it into a kind of array form. Array dot from of items. So meaning that I am trying to convert the list of HTML collection items into an array form. That array I am going to iterate it for every iteration with the help of for each function. For each, and then I am going to use an arrow function. Okay, fine. So what I will do now is, once I got an item from the list, I am getting some list right here. You can observe console dot log of li, not li, it is item. Observe, if I click, uh, if I am trying to search something, click. Observe, you are getting some data. You are getting some data. That is only cricket. So here what is happening, whenever you are trying to type something, every time it is going to call this function. Every time it is going to call this function, and I am trying to print the corresponding item. How many items are there? Only one item. That item is printing here. So as I try to type three times it is called this li function, li data. So I don't want to print this item. What I need to do is I want to have uh, this data, this cricket. So cricket is a kind of a child, right? So I can call it with respect to first child. Item dot first child. Item dot first child. You can observe, if I am trying to type J, cricket only get, right? If I try to A, even though you are entering anything, it is always going to call the first child. Dot, I would like to get the content there, text content. I am getting the text content that I am going to store in a location as content. That will be item value. That can be an item value. And then this item value I am going to check if item value dot value dot. I am going to convert these two also to lowercase, and then with help of index of method for searching, if I am getting the value as -1, that means the data is not available. If I am getting the value is not -1, the data is available. Then what I will do, I will simply make use of I will simply make that element is displayed. Otherwise what I will do is I will make its display as none. It display as but can we make this display directly none? No, it's a styling property. I have to call it with respect to style, and it's a kind of so this should be called on particular element. That element is item. Particular element is item. So the same thing I will call. I will do item dot style dot display equal to display equal to display equal to block, display equal to block. Okay, if I refresh here, if I am trying to type J, see, observe, if I go for Coco, that will be added. If I go for Cash, that will be added. If I go for Kabaddi, that will be added, right? Now I am trying to search for something. For example, if I try to type C, that will be eliminated. If I try to search for CO, that will be eliminated. Co. Okay, for example, C. Like this, you can able to filter the given data. Okay, fine. So this is the way you can able to use this DOM object in your real time. Thank you.